A ver, se supone que yo estoy de nuevo en directo. Maldita sea. No sé qué pasó. Pero ¿por qué pasó? ¿Qué mierda le pasa a YouTube? Bueno, supongo que se... bugueó. A ver, Giovanni, me avisas cuando andes. Descarga. Comparte este nuevo link en... ¿Cómo se llama? En WhatsApp, por ahí que se lo pases abajo. Ya, bueno, a ver, vamos a... Vamos a ver. Probablemente debería curar a mis personajes, pero a la M... Allá es una... Acá supongo, ¿no? Adiós al pasado.
We're finally here.
Ay, Diosito.
Where'd the Tory Gate come from?
This is a place I once sealed off with my own hands. The entrance to Raiden Makoto's realm of... It looks like she will no longer allow me to do with this body
¿Qué?
as I please.
Huh? What are you talking about? And who is she?
Aguanta. ¿Qué? Ya no... ¿Cuál cuerpo es real? ¿Cuál no? No estoy entendiendo nada. Necesito respuestas. Entonces la marioneta... ¿Habla de Makoto o de la marioneta? Ya andamos. Oye Dios, ¿has visto Lost Ark? No. Beach man. ¿Secuela del arco o qué? Aquí pongo el link en mi estado para que vaya a avanzar una nueva. Ya. ¿Cinemática? Dime que cinemática. Yo estoy harto de texto. Maldita sea. Automático, no pienso leer. Voy a escucharlo más. Parece el panel también.
Look over there. It's
sé quién. Explícame. Ah, es la
This
Shogun.
body is an assistant to the one within, but it is also the guardian of the rules. Should the one within wish to stray from the rules, this body shall stand in her way.
Wait, Paimon knows that voice.
La marioneta.
The puppet?
Ah, yo tenía
You have
razón.
wandered the realm in my body, and you appear to have grasped the true essence of eternity. You believe your present self has greater certainty than your former self. Thus, you believe your present self is correct, don't you? But have you really been
Pensé que en
enlightened
realidad
with
siempre
new
compartieron
ideas?
cuerpo.
Or have you been degraded by irreversible erosion? I'm here to show you my answer. We are both warriors, and the dialogue we must now have shall be conducted by the blade alone.
Wait. The atmosphere in here just took a turn for the worse. Are you alright now?
The discomfort I was experiencing earlier was caused by the Shogun rejecting my continued use of her body. As she indicates, once I started entertaining the idea of change, I became hostile in her eyes. But inside a realm of consciousness, I exist independently of her. She cannot affect me in this way. Though she is a puppet, the Shogun has her own consciousness too. When necessary, she appears here to confront me.
Paimon gets that everyone has their internal battles and stuff, but hey, showdown with the Shogun? Never thought.
The rules I set for the Shogun are... No. The Shogun herself is the manifestation of my past ideals. The very foundation stone of eternity. It shall not be easily swayed. I would not try to change her if it wasn't necessary.
Isn't there any other way? Can't you talk it through or something? But they both just want the best for Inazuma.
My form is a symbol of supreme majesty, in which has been vested power over all the realm. It is the cohesive embodiment of all that constitutes the Raiden Shogun. It inherits Ei's pain, the pain of inevitable loss that comes as she moves forward. So too does it inherit her determination to reach eternity. Every action undertaken is for the sake of resisting erosion. Determination, courage, love, hatred. All of these will be degraded and distorted by the incessant flow of time. Only rules shall remain constant for eternity. Those were my thoughts when I created you. Now, they are towering obstacles that I have no choice but to overcome. You wish to make yourself my enemy? I am your past, the everlasting law, the guardian of eternity. And I am she who promised a dream to her subjects. Raiden A.
Oh. O sea, ahora va a cambiar el nombre del personaje cuando lo use.
In the end, even the proud and mighty Oni Maiden was cut down in disgrace.
Los escudos.
Though your blade has been
Denme mis Only. ¿Por qué?
never shall it shine as brightly as it once did.
Denme mis escuditos. Devuélvame mis escudos.
Now you shall perish. The Kitsune sakura blossoms that once built the skies fell to the ground as pitch black rain.
Pero no la dejes curarse.
As long as the ley lines flow, the relentless erosion of time will never stop.
She's completely recovered?
Así parece.
No escape.
Concha.
Inazuma shines eternal. The divine lightning that envelops
Ya.
Inazuma will fade silently into the clouds. There shall never be another. Never. For the rest of time. Evasion is futile.
Concha su madre.
Now you shall perish.
Ya.
Euthymia crumbles before.
Have you finally defeated her?
No. Transformación.
It
Vale, qué
appears your
hermosa.
martial prowess has not dulled. But how long can your will remain
Cuando vi el
strong?
trailer yo pensé que la que tenía la espada era la falsa y la que tenía la lanza era la real. Seguro que la manita no es invencible.
In this realm of consciousness, she was built to resist erosion. Her will is stronger than any other living beings, including you and me.
Does that mean this?
Maybe. But I have to prove to her that my present will is no product of erosion. The future I shall forge will be a grand undertaking. One that will be resistant to... If I don't do this, the Shogun's rules can never change. And Inazuma can never move forward.
Qué bellos ojitos.
This is my duty. No matter how long this battle may last. Months, years, centuries. And no matter how many times we must
Sale en
fight,
20 días.
I will
Yo también estoy
defeat her.
ahorrando para ella. Anda que la juega harta gente. Prefiero el Genshin. Sí, es la copia de Genshin.
500 years ago, humanity proved their strength in battle. Here in the present,
No, yo me
they
quedo con
rely
mi
on their
Genshinsito.
ambition to challenge wayward practices, tear them out
Tiene
like
de
the
brillo el pelo
diseased
como
wood
se
of an
hallan.
old sakura tree. It is about time that I learn to trust them. I understand that. But if the dreams of which Makoto spoke are true eternity, a short moment for which the Shogun does not exist is nothing to fear. I fight for the everlasting future of Inazuma. However long the battle may last, it is but a drop in the ocean of eternity. I vow to the subjects of Inazuma that I shall one day return. This is my oath. Please, be my witness
No te voy a
during my
abandonar, Miko.
absence. I place everything in Miko's hands.
But this means...
Pass on my words.
¡No! No, 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 no. No, no me puedes dejar así. No me puedes dejar así, weón. Sí, eso he visto. El hardware, pues, que no les paga bien. 90,000 lucrecias a su madre. ¿A quién le ganó el juicio?
Looks like we got kicked out. Oh, what do we do? She was making sense. And maybe this is the only way to change the Shogun's rules, but still. Right? Also, A can be pretty stubborn at times and has a his. What if she gets too obsessed with winning and she forgets why she's there in the first place? It could happen. And then she might never leave again. Yeah, we should help her out. Like we did. Is there any way we can cut down how long she needs to spend in there?
Ya, Miko.
You know, help her win the fight. Well, whatever. We can't let any. Oh, but we also. Okay, well, first things first. We gotta find a way back in. Oh, come on, brain juice. Don't feel Paimon now. Okay. Oh, you're right. Paimon nearly forgot about. Who knows if she really understands these consciousness realm playing thingies more than we do. But there's no one else we can turn to.
Ok, Ok, entonces ahora tengo que desbloquear la misión de llave, ¿no? Ah, la usé bien, mierda. Espérate, Claudette. Sí, pues le hicieron trabajar con... A todos los profes los hacían trabajar, pues, ¿no?
Someone's not in the best of moods.
Verdad que por fin contrataron gente realmente profesional.
You're all tangled up in another situation and need me to unravel it for you.
Sí, pues bueno. Pero de verdad, ¿sabes? Si son profesionales, porque ponte que no...
That was a figure of speech. Do you understand? Oh, yeah. Something really big, Sam.
Ahorita ya Miko se infarta.
Oh, okay, I see. So, Ace decided to palm Inazuma off on the humans, while she goes off on her own to fight a fierce battle that doesn't even have an end date. Impossibly stubborn. Jumps, you know as well as I do that she's always been like this. Why start fretting about it now? Rushed into it without thinking. So you seem to be under the impression that I am able to offer... Is she playing dumb? Uh-huh. You're learning, little one. But really, the truth of the matter is that I don't know much more about Raiden Makoto's realm of consciousness than you. All I know is that it's the foundation of the sacred Sakura.
Mal por
But from
Raiden,
what
que
I've
seguro
heard,
lo han
it's a little
despedido.
different from A's plane of euthymia.
Mejor que contraten profesionales.
Not just because of that. The nature of the space itself is different in some way. But I can only speculate. Anyway, we needn't worry about the details too much. It'll just be a little first things first. Follow me to the entrance.
A ver si es eso. A ver. Antes pedían el 7 nomás. Negrini, aunque sea, tenía eso. ¿Sí tenía CB? Show the day above count that we are together. We will continue to shine like gold.
Now then, I always have my ways. To the outsider. In other words, even though I can't pinpoint the exact spatial...
So, it's abstract, but has a location.
Yes, no need to try and... Everything is turbulent, and this is precisely why when entering the plane of euthymia...
Perdón si me
much
salto los
safer
diálogos,
if you
pero
place your
quiero seguir con la
consciousness in
misión.
a physical object first.
What? Alright, well, I might stay here then. You two can go in.
Suit yourself. Worst case scenario, all we stand to lose is A. So what's the big deal?
Seas sola, Paimon.
Paimon's coming too.
Tititata. Yesenia y el sonsonazo que solo sabe decir por lo tanto. No, acuérdate que era ya no me acuerdo qué me decía. Si ves que era profesor de...
Oh, well, if you're quite sure, then of course. Now, I shall send you on your way.
Suave con esos gemidos.
I say. Oh, nothing. It just seems extraordinarily chaotic, that's all. My suspicions have been confirmed. By the way, remember to focus constantly on your... Only a strong enough will can prevent you from being swallowed by the giant waves of abstract space. Only if you are strong enough can I deliver you to the right destination. Well then, the door's open. Hop on in. I'll stay outside and provide what stability I can. I'm placing my god in your capable hands.
Te confío en mi diosa.
For my sake, and for Inazuma's, please. Bring her back.
Maldita sea, tengo que ir al baño otra vez. Un segundito, gente.
Miko?
Lo voy a dejar en automático.
That's enough chatter. Get to work. Remember to focus constantly on your heartfelt wishes when you enter inside. Only if you are strong enough can I deliver you to the right destination.
Huh? How can this be? You have returned. But how were you able to get back in? And how come you have not changed at all in all these years?
Ya regresé. Me había olvidado activar el micro. Rico spoiler que te vas a comer, así es. Pero es tu decisión, pues.
Your will today is as strong as it was back then. Over countless battles, not once have you lost, and never have you shown the slightest hesitation. Had I made all enemies of eternity stand against you, you still would not have wavered. For your firm commitment to enforcing the rules, you have my admiration too. You bring honor to the title of Guardian of Eternity.
Pero eso tiene que acabar.
Now these two return once more to this space. An inevitability of fate, perhaps.
Para ellos fueron años, pero para nosotros fueron
Let this be our final
segundos.
The conclusion to that which began 500 years ago.
Hora del duelo.
So you're finally willing to... Stand back, traveler. I'm going to be the start of something new. The time our duels took to fight was long enough to witness the rise and fall of the universe.
¡Oye! ¿Que así nomás? ¿Sin protección? No seas pendejo. Oye, dame mi zombie. Yo pensé que harían una cinemática de transformación, aunque sea. Con cariño. No, de frente. ¡Ah! De frente me la metí. ¡Ah! Usa el elemento electro para atacar la flor. Ok. Ah, o sea que si no tengo electro me jodí. Ok, Beidou sí o sí va a tener que estar acá. Si pienso enfrentarme a este boss semanal, sí o sí Beidou. Tú, Claudia, vas a estar jodida, no más tienes a física, Beidou, y ninguna las muy bien. Suave. No parece tan difícil porque me han dado una Shogun nivel 82, pero con mi equipo normal y sale Sogle como si lo hubiera matado a él. Se acabó. Tú ganas. No estoy decepcionado. O bueno, sí un poquito. Una cinemática no hubiera estado mal. Así como la de Child o la de Asdaja. O la de... ¿Cómo se llama? La bruja esta. La señora.
But a will that cannot be eroded. You need not worry about the future. I know your power more than anyone else. Had I relied upon my strength alone, I would have lost this duel for sure. Yet, my reason for fighting redefined my martial prowess and redrew my limits. I now carry the gaze of the myriad of expectant eyes that look to the light in the heavens. And whenever I think of this, I feel something stirring within Musou Ishin. The blade that I inherited from Makoto seems to be trying to guide me, to encourage me. I noticed it also. Just now in the heat of battle, it seemed to unleash a new and unfamiliar power. This power is beyond the limits of my understanding. This blade belonged to Makoto.
¿Cómo lo ponen acá?
Respond to me with its full
Ya
power
sabemos.
when I truly understand and believe in her. When I clasped Musou Ishin in my hands, I had the feeling that she was by my side once again. It was at once a familiar feeling and a strange one. Makoto barely wielded a blade in her life, and yet her blade brings me closer to her. You have my approval. Your present will is not the product of erosion. I shall no longer stop you from attempting to modify the rules.
Desactívala.
From this day forth, this body will remain your assistant. I won't design any more rules that can never be changed. You used to represent my past, but from today onward, you are me. Makoto never saw me as a fearless weapon. Likewise, you truly have changed. I suppose this is what humans call growth. I understand. I shall become your shadow, just as you were once Makoto's shadow.
Mierda.
The duties I perform will not change. But as a warrior, I look forward to the chance to fight like this again in the future. Do you say this because you have not yet reconciled yourself with your defeat? It was simply a new experience for me. One that is worth reliving.
Semanalmente.
Have you finished fighting then? Like, for real this time?
Un final agridulce.
And greetings, those who have come to bear witness. I am Raiden Makoto, the previous Electro Arconte, who failed in my duties and left you all to pick up the pieces. Makoto? I'm so happy. You've come so far. I always knew you would make it here in the end. I left a faint fragment of my will in Musou Ishin, so that in the moment that you unleashed its full power, I too would be released. A convoluted way to reach you, but... well, you held such deeply entrenched views at the time that you wouldn't have listened to a word I said. There was no time to wait for you to have a change of heart. Please forgive me. All I could could do was find some way to wait until you came to me. But you never mentioned this to me. Everything happened so suddenly. I'm sorry. I've always felt terrible for having to entrust Inazuma to you all of a sudden. I should have been the one to impart these ideas to you, a little at a time, to dissuade you from your pursuit of stillness. Did you know what was about to happen in Conria? I had some sense of it. That place was not somewhere that any Archon could afford to ignore. In my present form, I can no longer perceive time. I don't know how long we have been separated before this reunion, and I don't know what Inazuma has experienced in the meantime, but I know that this must have been an extremely arduous journey for you. And don't look down on me. See? You admit it. It was with this possibility in mind that I left a parting gift for you. Something to soothe Inazuma's pain. Here, take it, before my last shred of consciousness fades away. But it is you who must take the most important step.
¿Cinemática? ¡Ta su madre! Ah, no, sí. A ver.
The light turned into a seed?
The miracle tree that blesses the people, in this moment new to the world and yet to be known. When to plant it, where it shall bloom. She who brings it into being must let her heart and dreams decide. Grant it life, eh? Is it really?
Okay.
Eternity extends time into infinity. Dreams illuminate each moment within. When both shine in unison, the sacred Sakura blooms from the darkness, finally free from the clutches of the heavenly principles. Now the nightmare has dissipated, and reality is made whole. The vision we both yearn for is still further ahead. My only regret is that I cannot witness Inazuma's future, nor can I walk this journey with you. Do you know, I am so happy right now, because my final wish has now come true. Your polearm once protected me from countless calamities. For this, I've always felt indebted to you. Though I could never repay you in full, this sacred Sakura will buy you some time until you are ready to awaken and embrace the new.
Okay.
What do you think? Did it do the trick? This time, it really is goodbye, eh? Goodbye, Makoto.
Makoto. A ver. Bueno, voy a tener que borrar la cuenta de mi sirve. Ah, ya pagó el propio. Ah, bien. ¿Y qué será de Leon? Eres salaza, bro. Ah, no pueden poner XD en el chat. Madre, pero una cinemática de transformación, pero me conformaré.
So the A of the present planted the
Con
sacred
esa
Sakura
despedida.
in the realm of consciousness and it took root in the Inazuma of the past.
Eso, justo eso estaba pensando, o sea, era algo tipo a los viajes en el tiempo. O sea, lo que pasó en el presente afectó el pasado.
No matter what you make of it, it's quite incredible.
All of this is thanks to Makoto's power. Her understanding of eternity is much more profound than mine. Eternity is a concept intimately connected with time. When you begin to touch on eternity, the
O sea,
concept
por
of
lo que
time
entendí,
becomes
ahora
murky.
sigue siendo, ese cuerpo sigue siendo el de la marioneta, pero sí, no sé, siento que va a estar limitado, ¿no? No va a ser el poder al 100% de un Arconte.
A place
No sé,
where
no sé,
time
no sé.
is meaningless and cannot be understood with ordinary logic. Ah, so that was the turbulence I was sensing. Perhaps that is the reason why you were able to return precisely to this point in time without any problems. And yet, that sense of disorderliness has now completely disappeared.
I don't fully understand yet. But my intuition tells me that the reason for everything, it's that seed.
Well, I'm not convinced that it was Makoto's power alone.
I know what you mean. Perhaps Makoto got a higher power involved in all of this.
¿Quién era Astaroth?
But whatever the explanation, her solution is what saved us all. Without the sacred Sakura, Inazuma would likely have been completely swallowed up centuries ago by that disaster and the filth.
I know you've always perceived there was something special about the sacred Sakura, but to me, it has always been there. You've tried in the past to prove to me that there's a connection between the sacred Sakura and Makoto's consciousness.
No, but I understand why now. It was because the sacred Sakura hadn't even been planted then.
Don't you think that tree looked a lot different than how it does now?
The sacred Sakura is within my purview at the shrine, so obviously I get to play it exactly how I like it.
Now we see who's pulling
Esa ya, La
I'm
caga.
joking. That tree has been through a lot since it first sprouted. We have the loving care of Kitsune over the ages to thank for how it appears today. And obviously I played my... It's fair to say that very little time passed between the moment you came out of that realm and the moment you re-entered it. Traveler, if I'm guessing
como la cámara del
correctly,
tiempo.
you were repeating your wishes to yourself in your mind, weren't you?
Me dio risa, sí vi la cinemática, me dio risa que se supone que tenía que repetirse a sí mismo sus deseos y sus deseos literalmente era Raiden, pues lo que se veía era Ace.
At that time,
La
I could
desea.
sense A's whereabouts, but I also sensed
también la deseo.
anomalies in the flow of time within that space. Suffice to say, time added a whole new dimension to our search. Simply establishing a location was not sufficient. Fortunately, your will was strong enough that the turbulence carried you to the moment in time most likely to be the intersection of all that you were wishing for. The flow of turbulence may well have been influenced by Makoto, but it took everyone's efforts combined to ultimately help A. So this time, it looks like thanks are due to you.
Así que agradeceme de otra
Does that
forma.
mean it wasn't by chance
Invítame
that we ended
a
up at
pasar
the
a tomar
final
una
duel?
tacita de té.
We were always meant to be there to witness what was going to happen?
I thought that the flow of time was the same on the inside and the outside. So it was a great shock to me when the traveler reappeared. My first thought was, has a great disaster befallen Inazuma? But it turned out you had come to rescue me. You came for my sake, to help me reach the best possible outcome. You too have my thanks. You have done much for me, and I will never forget it.
Hey, how are you feeling now?
My body has fully recovered, and the Shogun's will no longer fights against me.
Es un cuerpo artificial, es no real, yo no entiendo nada.
But I was really asking about your emotions. Have you managed to calm down? After all, you saw Makoto in there, didn't you?
I only heard her voice. I wouldn't say I saw her.
Bueno, era gemelo, solo viste en un espejo
I'll
y
be
está.
fine. It brought a few things back, of course, but I've made my decision to move forward. I have to say, this has reminded me once again just how brilliant Makoto was.
Makoto.
She predicted all the ways in which Inazuma's future could unfold, all the way back then. She all thanks to her that Inazuma lived to see this day. I just planted a seed.
Yeah, it was thanks to everything you did that you got
Yin y el
here
yang.
again. That's amazing.
No te menosprecies, mi amor. Ey. Saoko, papi, Saoko. Mi cuenta... Ah, no. Sí me salió, pero como casi no he usado el Play en estos días. ¿Será de meterme una peluqueada o voy así cabeza de cuca al cumple de Link? Oye, yo voy a ir al cumple así también con cabeza de cuca. No, no te rapes, son, para no ser el único. No te rapes, ya la acabó Gabriel, tú no la cagues. Yo también voy a andar con el pelo largo. Aparte tú te pones gorra cagada. Yo sí, ahí al descubierto. Mis mechas. Que es el último paso. Cualquiera se hace todos. Cualquiera de los dos es lo mismo.
Thank you.
Today, at long last, you and Inazuma finally emerge from the shadows cast by the events of centuries past. Makoto and you are Inazuma's past and future, and both are indispensable.
No te rapes. No te rapes, mucho
It's
tu
rare
madre.
to hear such comforting words from you. I graciously accept them.
Oh, come on. You only think it's rare because you never used to listen to a word I say.
Se pelean las novias.
Same thing.
Great minds think alike, hmm? I wonder, does that qualify me to, maybe, take the position of Shogun for a couple of days?
Esa cara de la ruido.
Actually, no. Forget that. Far more trouble than it's worth.
We will have to end the frivolities there. There is much work to be done. The Shogun and I will closely review the Inazuma of today to find out where things currently stand.
Porque si ese día llevo
We
gorra,
will
sino
give
para que
careful
dices que también
consideration
más.
to the future.
No, pues entonces ya rápate mañana después de la fiesta, no sé.
After that,
Una flojera irme a
I
cortar el
will
pelo.
abolish the Sakoku decree.
Really? That's huge news.
I am no longer pursuing an eternity defined by stasis. In which case, there is no further need to keep the nation under lock and key. I don't doubt that many challenges lie ahead for Inazuma. I'm looking forward to it.
Métele un corte con degrado. No, mierda. Nunca me quedan esos cortes. Ojito, mira todo lo que tengo acá para comer. Miren mi pilar geo.
Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma,
Ah, no puedo preguntar
but
cosas.
I am prepared for them. Abolishing the Sakoku decree has a myriad of implications. It would be folly to say that it will be all positive, and there will be no negative repercussions. For example, I can foresee the outside world posing a threat to Inazuma's businesses. These are the issues that I must work to solve.
Hey, you're thinking about this all so conscientiously. I've only got as far as wondering whether I'll be able to sell entrance tickets to the Grand Narukami Shrine in the future.
Honestly, Miko, many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma. But Makoto's gaze was always fixed on the people of Inazuma. I always assumed it was because That was her duty. But now, I see that hers was a gaze full of delight and hope. It was not just a duty, but a joy too.
If the people of the
Puta
past
madre, lo
deserve
salté
the
sin
gods'
querer.
attention, then so do the people of the future.
Indeed. No longer will I ignore their passions and dreams. Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma. To put it bluntly, it was constant torture, with no end in sight. Faced with an endless battle, safe to say. Were it not for my previous experiences in combat, my skills would not have been up to the challenge. I would most certainly have been defeated. And through it all, you also had your part to play. Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma. But don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I will be sure to remind the Tenryou and Yashiro commissions of their duties in this regard. It's not only the monsters that I am worried about. I'm concerned about what else might escape from the sacred Sakura.
That's a tough one, all right. There's plenty more besides memories held in the ley lines.
Since you clearly understand, perhaps you could think about making an effort too. Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma, but I am prepared for them.
Está, a ver. Cállate la boca.
Yai Miko said nothing of the sort. And the traveler has some nerve making up spurious claims about her while she is still present. Some words are not to be passed on. Trust me, you don't want to know the cost of betraying me. Just think of the things I said to you as our little
Castígame.
secret. Understood.
What are you talking about?
Nothing. Ooh, I suddenly want some fried tofu.
Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma, but I...
No tengo más preguntas. Es tuya, Miko.
Many challenges
Puta, ¿es lo
still
mismo?
lie
Ah,
ahead
ya.
for Inazuma.
Chao. A ver, voy a tomar una fotito para la miniaturita. ¿Cómo te ven? Sé que como lo miran el Sangli. El Sangli mira a ella, no mira mira al frente, ya. Pero también si esto en vez de verme a mí miraran del frente. Miren al frente, por favor. Ya, bueno. Me sirve. No, que eso stream. A ver. Ahora la de ella y Miko. Miko. Ahora la hago ahorita y me lo guardo para otro stream. Que dice el público. De verdad tienen cabeza de cuca, sí. Yo sí. Ah, cierto que te quemaste. Huevo. Ahora streameas mamadas otakus. Habla pleba, los años que te pareces si no me respondes en Instagram, maldito. Pues sí, es que me gusta el juego. No me juzgues. Orgullosamente juego este juego. Siete espectadores, mierda. Tamare, ¿la sigo o no la sigo? Hago o no hago la misión, hago o no hago la misión. La hago o no la hago, la hago o no la hago, la hago o no la hago, la hago o no la hago. Muy pronto serás mía. Bueno, no muy pronto, serán 20 días que pongan el nuevo banner. Maldita sea. Puta madre, quiero... Pero la de acá también está buena. Las dos. Quiero las dos. Yo hateo nomás porque a mí nunca me funcionó. Pero intenta de nuevo. Bueno, sí es medio exigente el juego, pues es de mundo abierto. De exploración y tiene un montón de chingaderas. Sería cosa de probar. Ah, chucha, entonces no sé, pues. Ah, chingue esa madre, a ver. Ponte Pendex, por favor. Mentira, sí sé que la banda es Panda o una vaina así, no sé. No puedo poner música, acuérdate que en YouTube me meten copyright. Se plepsio. Plepsito. Comparte, Peple. Que tenga más seguidores, más gente que traer. Claro, no pudiste jugarlo, pero ahora puedes verme a mí jugarlo. Ah, cierto que le arreglaron la espalda. Sí, ya le pusieron sus huesitos ahí. Te juro que te iba a ir. Estaba jodiendo nomás. Oye, Faba se puso borracho, ¿eso sí te contó? No, no me ha dicho.
Come on, this is a no-brainer, man. There's only one thing worth wishing for, and that is a ton of mora.
¿De cuándo hablas?
But the exam's next week. If I fail again, I'm seriously done for. I'm better off wishing that my exam goes smoothly. It's just an exam. Trust me, there's no problem you can't solve by throwing mora at it. If it doesn't work, then just keep throwing till it does.
Medio que tiene razón, ¿no?
What are they arguing about? It's quite a...
Huh? Really? You guys don't know? You need but stand on this land at midnight, lower your head and recite a special incantation, then your wish will come true.
Es una novela.
Looks like you guys really aren't in the loop. This, my friends, is the next big thing. A highly effective wish ritual guaranteed to make your wishes come
Pues
true.
hasta el queso en el kino de su flaca. Ah, la Pacormo en el kino de su flaca y sus suegros.
wish ritual? It actually works?
No sé, no es feo.
Even Paimon knows that's just not how the world works.
I didn't believe it at first either, but that changed when it worked for
Siempre es
someone
así, ¿no?
else.
Le funcionó a alguien que conozco. A ver, tú hazlo, pendejo.
It's this guy called Kunihika. He's practically always been unemployed, wastes his days away, and he owes a lot of money. Like a lot. But get this. I don't see him for a few days, and suddenly I find him dressed to the nines and feasting at a high-class restaurant.
A que ese weón, la primera vez que se emborracha la caga, o sea, se emborracha en el kino de su flaca. Esa vaina.
His whole bed was filled with...
Wow. Esa Paimon más ambiciosa.
Of course, I'm sure the part about waking up lying on a bed of mora is a bit of an exaggeration. Whether you believe it or not, it's not exactly a difficult ritual. It can't hurt to give it a try, right? If you're still feeling
Obvio lo van a
skeptical,
descubrir,
just ask
bro.
around. There are a lot
Si
of
Faba
very
es
compelling
callado,
stories going around
borracho,
these
me imagino
days.
que se puso a hablar hasta por las orejas, fue.
Well, come on! Let's go ask around right now, shall we? Well, if it really is true, then just think of all the Mora Paimon could... Oh, and you'd finally be reunited it with your twin too. Let's go, let's go.
Pendeja. No, claro, pues eso de que ya saben, ya era obvio que debían saber, pues. Oye, pero, O sea, regresó con la... ¡Ay, este idiota! Recién capto en todo esto que, o sea, regresó con la Maffer. Puta madre, me cago, esa por qué la gana de regresar en donde te hacen daño. Ok. Me puse a hacer bebadas con los tíos de la Maffer. ¿Sabe que la cerveza te pone... te cambia la configuración?
Closer inspection.
No sabía que era ¡Sau!
There are a lot of people talking about this kind of stuff. Hey, see those two? Hyman remembers them from the I Publishing House. One's an editor and the other's an author.
Grasp the thought in mind. Clear like the light of the moon. As close as kin with you. No, thou. Wait, thee? Hear my summons, right?
No, it's not hear my summons, it's heed my summons. Heed! You're never going to get it down at this rate.
Where did I leave
Y
my
esa
hand
vaina,
conditioner?
la mal borracho.
Are you guys trying out this new wishing ritual?
Bueno, en realidad
too?
no parece que haya hecho nada malo, ¿no? Solo se puso a hablar hasta por las orejas.
Trying it out to be specific. He's hit a bit of a creativity block recently, so I'm helping him make a wish so that he can move past it.
Pero que todo ha sido volteado. O sea que cuando tú te emborrachas eres ¡Sau!
So all I can do is go along with it.
Mr. Shigeru, can you please be a little more accommodating? This is
Ya, la
extremely
próxima te voy a
important to me.
emborrachar.
People have had all
Pero me
kinds
voy a
of
alejar de
wishes
ti.
come true.
Nomás voy a
The
observar
more
qué
top kids
haces.
get rich quick, ace their studies. I'm just a poor,
Sabe, no,
struggling
si no
writer
ocupo la
looking
corona
to get
entonces
over
no
a
la
creative
verás
hurdle.
como fuera
It's
de
so much
eso,
to
no sé
ask.
ni mierda.
Anyway, I just
Ah,
know this is
bueno.
going to work. I have a gut feeling about it.
Ala, pero alguno de nosotros sí me imagino que a mí ya me descartaron, a ti bueno, no sé, yo no te he visto, Fa al parecer es igual que yo, nomás se pone a hablar, pero ¿quién será el de los hombres que cuando se emborrache se vuelva Sau?
Look, to be completely honest, I think you need to sit down and have a good
No,
think
pero la verdad
about
es que
the
los tíos
story
de la
you
muestra
want.
escucharon ese
Where's all
cagón de
that
risa.
self-confidence you had when you first started out? Look at you now, trying dubious methods from any old light novel.
Wait. What? This wishing ritual comes from a light novel?
Yep, it's from the one called A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits. No, it's most likely a self-published title. It just appeared out of nowhere and took Inazuma by storm. As a fellow writer, I'll refrain from passing comment on how well the story is written, but everyone is saying the wishing incantations it contains are the real deal.
Look, Junkichi, yes, everyone's saying it's real, it works, but that's only half the story. I've also heard lots of people saying that everyone who's had their wish granted using this method starts behaving strangely.
What's so surprising about that?
Ya, yo no estoy diciendo que seas tú, sino que no sé, pues algún... ¿Cuál de los chicos irá a ser el Sao cuando se emborracha? Porque siempre hay uno que cuando se emborracha
Go to the Grand Narcotic
se vuelve Sao.
and ask Guy Miko about it.
Ley de vida.
She's the expert when it comes to both light novels and the supernatural.
Siempre hay uno que cuando se emborracha se vuelve Sao. Bruno. De la nada se me vino a la mente Bruno, pues. Aunque bueno, ese también es Sao sin estar borracho. Bueno, no sé. Perdón, Bruno. O ese tono no va a durar tanto si no hay trago 8 o 9, la gente se va a empezar a ir y en hablas 11. Eso te estoy diciendo desde hace media hora hoy, no haces caso. Ni fregando va a durar tanto. No tanto por lo del trago, sino porque somos 30 personas en un lugar chiquito, pues. Quieras o no, va a llegar un momento en el que ya no va a durar, no va a dar para más, pues. Si no hay algún medio de entretenimiento. Y más que creo que medio mundo ahí no es, o no se lleva o... Uy. Bueno. O no se lleva o... ¿Cómo se llama? O bueno, al menos tienen... Más de uno ahí tiene problemas entre sí. Mecha obviamente no va a haber... Aparte, claro, pues aparte vamos a estar vigilados. Pero no te acuerdas que su dijo que su papá va a estar ahí de guardia. ¿Tú crees que van a querer quedarse ahí hasta las 10 vigilados? No. Sí, aparte los que invitó son tremendos, como diría mi abuela. Fregando. No, yo no me aguanté, la solté nomás, me olvidé que estaba en directo. Pero sí, pues, lo que te digo. Es una
Hello
receta.
there, young ones. What brings you to the shrine? It just so happens that I have a wonderful novel here. I highly recommend it. Oh, well, what did you want to
De
ask?
que van a meter, van a meter. La cosa me preocupa más el hecho de que... Ponte que sea un cumpleaños de Claudia León 2.0. Porque el papá de Lien ya sabes cómo es. Si el papá de Lien encuentra
No, not at all. It's nothing
alguno...
major.
Ni siquiera borracho, con que encuentre o huele el trago, pucha madre, nos bota seguro. Bueno, o al menos los bota a los involucrados, pues, ¿no?